Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space Channel. Today, I'm reading from the Torah, or the Pentateuch, or the first 5 books of the Old Testament, depending upon your leaning as to what you call it. So, I am in Leviticus, chapter 25, starting in verse 1. The Lord spoke unto Moses on Mount Sinai and commanded him to give the following regulations to the people of Israel. When you enter the land that the Lord is giving you, which will be 40 years from this time, ye shall honor the Lord by not cultivating the land every 7th year. You shall plant your fields, prune your vines, and gather your crops for 6 years. But the 7th year is the year of complete rest of the land, the year dedicated to the Lord. Do not plant your fields or prune your vineyards. Do not even harvest grain that grows by itself without being planted, and do not gather the grapes from your unpruned vines. It is the year of complete rest of the land. Although the land has not been cultivated during the year, it shall provide food for you, your slaves, and your hired men, the foreigners living with you, your domestic animals and wild animals in your fields. Everything it produces may be eaten. So you're just going to let it be kind of like forest land. You're not going to harvest. But if you want to go through and pick a few grapes to eat for that day, you're okay. This is called Shemitah, I think is how it's said, the 7th year. Now, when did this whole 7th year stuff start? I'm telling you that I'm going to read to you from Exodus 23, but I would say unto you this day, I don't know why I started quoting that verse, but that it really started in Genesis. The days of creation, the 7th day, the Lord rested. But here we have it in Leviticus chapter 23, not Leviticus, Exodus. We were just in Leviticus, now we're in Exodus chapter 23, starting in verse 10. For 6 years plant your land and gather in what it produces. But in the 7th year let it rest, and do not harvest anything that grows on it. The poor may eat what grows there. The wild animals may have what is left. Do the same with your vineyards and your olive trees. Mentions the olive trees here. Work 6 days a week, but do not work on the 7th day. So it's a Sabbath of years, and the week is 7 days, with the last day being Sabbath, so that your slaves and your foreigners who work for you, and even your animals, can rest. Listen to everything that I, the Lord, have said unto you. Do not pray to other gods. Do not even mention their names. Do not even mention their names. So let's look at more information about the Sabbath year. Let's go to Deteronomy, which is still in the Torah. I got one more page to turn, folks. Chapter 15 of Deuteronomy. Excuse me. At the end of every 7 years, you are to cancel the debts of those who owe you money. This is how it is to be done. Everyone who has lent money to follow the Israelites, lent money, to let them take money for trade or for interest to pay back. Israelite is to cancel the debt. He must not try to collect the money. The Lord himself has declared the debt canceled. You may collect what a foreigner owes you, but must not collect that if any of your own people owe you. The Lord your God will bless you in the land that he is giving you. Not one of your people will be poor if you obey him and carefully observe everything I command you today. The Lord will bless you as he has promised. You will lend money to many nations, but you will not have to borrow from any. If you have control over many nations, but no nation will have control over you. Let me repeat that. But no nation will have control over you. If any of the towns of the land that the Lord your God is giving you, there is a fellow Israelite in need, then do not be selfish and refuse to help him. Instead, be generous and lend him as much as he needs. Do not refuse to lend him something just because the year when debts was canceled is near. Do not let such an evil thought enter your mind. If you refuse to make your loan, he will cry out to the Lord against you, and you will be held guilty. Give him freely and unselfishly, and the Lord will bless you in everything you do. There will always be some Israelite who are poor and in need, and so I command you to be generous to them. So be nice, be generous to your own. So I guess that would translate, if you're Christian, to fellow Christians. So we're going to go to 2 Chronicles, because there have to be some kind of consequence if you don't obey God's laws. Now, we're under grace now, so a lot of these laws don't apply. We should want to keep God's commandments if we're Christian. I thought it was 36, so hold on just a moment. The interesting thing is when the people got to the promised land, for many years, my guess would be 70, they didn't follow the Sabbath laws and let the land rest every 7 years. And they were punished for it. They were disobedient those 7 years. Or, 70 years. So let's see what happened because of that. And if I can't find the verses, I'll just tell you. Okay, that's Cyrus the Great. But what happened was the Babylonian captivity. And the Babylonian captivity lasted 70 years. And that's exactly how many years that they did not practice letting their land go fallow and sharing with the poor and forgiving debts and doing everything else that God had commanded about the Sabbath. So I am not finding it. A minute. Let me see. So I think we go to 20. No, that's David takes a census is 21. No, the Babylonian captivity I am unable to find. But I will put the verses, it's just a couple of verses. I'll put those in the description box. And just remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. If we live in a modern society, debts aren't forgiven every 7 years. People aren't freed from their bondage of from creditors every 7 years. And there are certain things that, we should do maybe with our families. Like, if you can't let things go on forever. At some point in time, even if you took a big loss and they weren't appreciative, at some point in time, you have to be forgiving to them, or you're not going to be able to function as a family. And maybe that's why God instructed people to do that to their fellow Israelites, so their society could continue to function. If there's not some kind of atonement for what we do to each other, I mean, we would just be in constant war. Oh, wow. We are in constant war, aren't we? Because there's no forgiveness in the world. So remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. And you all have a wonderful and blessed day.